Yo, what's going on, fellas? It's your boy Deadly Crypto. We up in this hog. It's Friday. We're gonna have a good presentation this evening. I'm gonna walk you guys through 3 commas. This is gonna be fantastic. I'm gonna show you guys how to use 3 commas. Now, there is a real summary balance on the screen, but we're gonna be using the paper trading account for today's walkthrough. I'm gonna be showing you how to set up a trade with 3 commas. We're gonna walk through all of the amazing tools that it has to offer. If you don't know what 3 commas is, in short, it's an automated trading software. You can log into it. It doesn't actually handle any money, but you can use it with API connections to other exchanges in order to make trades. So I've got it hooked up to a couple different exchanges. This is just a little test account that we have here. So in case I were to get hijacked or something like that, and where we're running a little bit of obscure paper trading bots, things like that. We're not going to be talking about bots today. We do have another presentation planned for the 26th, where we're going to be talking about bots. Today, we're just going to be talking about the smart trading terminal. It's going to be fantastic. Thanks everybody who's here. Anytime you have a question, just ask it. Don't sit there and wait for it and forget what I'm talking about. Ask it in the comments. I'll stop to take breaks to drink water and answer your questions periodically. So, guys, thanks everyone for coming. Got my boy G-Man in the house. Shout out G-Man. Anthony Lewis says, hair looking cool, bro. Thanks. My girl did it for me this morning. Looks, I think it looks cool too. Thank you. Don't forget to put yourself in the corner. My man, G-Man. Need to put myself in the corner. Reminded me right away. Okay, is that a good corner? That's an okay corner. If I need to close myself out there, I'll go ahead and do that. But for right now, I think everything's going to be on screen. All right, guys. So before anyone says anything, I know that the balances are showing here. 3 commas has this cool thing where if you hide the balances, it actually hides it everywhere. So as you can see, it stars it out everywhere. And then whenever I'm trying to talk about some of the percentages and things later, it just really wouldn't make sense. So I just want you to be able to see the balances and understand what I'm talking about whenever I say the things I'm saying. And again, we are using paper trading. If I was using the real balance today, it would be green. We have done live trading sessions before in the past where I use real money. This is not a live trading session. This is me showing you how to use 3 commas. All right, guys? Hey, my boy Pena, you need to give me a holler, dude. And my boy Bashir says, Boss Crypto. Wah! Boy Tamilo says, greetings. What's up, boy Tamilo? That's my boy. That's my boy. All right, guys. So let's get started. And remember, anytime you have questions, go ahead and ask it in the comments. And I'm going to take breaks periodically to answer them. So let me just go ahead and start from top to bottom. What we're going to be looking at here is the 3 commas platform. Once you get logged in, all that good stuff. I have tons of videos how to get logged in. I'm going to skip all that bullshit today. I'm going straight to the Smart Trade terminal. So if you click on Smart Trade, this is where you're going to end up. I'm going to go ahead and minimize that screen now. And at any time, you could click around and see what else is going on here. But we're playing around with Smart Trade terminal. So if we start up at the top, we can see there are some things that we can click on and off. So if we start from left to right, we'll see that takes away the chart. So if you know what TradingView is, it's an external charting software, and they actually have it plugged into 3 commas. So you can even do your charting right here on the exchange you're trading on before you take your trade. See, this right here is powered by TradingView. So you can turn that on or off. Now they have this little tab for signals here. I personally don't like to use the signals tab, because it kind of makes me get biased opinions about what's actually going on. If I see a buy signal, it makes me think there's a buy. Sometimes it's not really a buy. It's at the top of a rally. So, all that good stuff. But here you can turn on the signals. And I like to turn them off, right? So then we have the trade terminal. So that's this stuff down here. I'll turn it off real quick. And then you see it's gone. So now we don't have any of that stuff to make trades. And we're going to talk about how to make trades on this trade terminal in just a little bit. And then we have orders and positions. So actually, you can see I think this is cool because I have a couple open positions here. I didn't even know there were any on this paper trading account when I logged in. So if I just turn it off right there, it doesn't show any of the orders. So that's neat. And those are from bots. Those aren't from smart trades. But remember, we're not talking about bots today. But it was cool that they were there because I was like, nice, I get to show that feature. So it hides the order. So you can basically show whatever you want. If you don't want to show none of that, you're just trying to look at the charts right now, whatever. So moving on. We're going to need to pick an exchange, right? So right here, we only have one exchange because this is my paper trading account. So this is the paper trading account, and it only has one. But if I had, for example, this was a Binance account, I could name this Binance. It would have the little Binance logo here. And then I had a Bybit account. I can name it Bybit, or I can name it whatever I want to. Don't have to name it by the exchange. And I can have this for multiple exchanges because 3COMMAS actually connects, I think, up to 20 exchanges last time I checked. Maybe a little more than 20. I think maybe 22, but I don't want to talk out of my butt on that. You can connect a bunch of exchanges. Sorry, guys, I'm already getting cotton mouth in the as soon as we started. I'm going to grab a drink of water real quick. But you can connect as many exchanges as you want right here, and you can pick which one you want to trade from. So you don't have to log into, like, if you have your balances spread upon multiple exchanges, you don't have to log into every single one. You can capture a move quickly in multiple exchanges without having to log in, do all your 2FA, because it's all controlled through 3COMMAS API. My boy T-Cal, he says, how's it going, brother? Going good, T-Cal. Shout out T-Cal, he's one of my supporters. Shout out G-Man Crypto, them boys, look at that. Blue and red looking like the police up in here. Whoop, whoop. Jacob says, giving you my lunch hour. Let's learn something. All right, let's learn something, Mr. Jacob. So, guys, we already talked about how to pick an exchange. Now we can go over and talk about the market we want to trade. So, if we want to trade BTC, a lot of guys actually don't trade BTC pairs. What most people are familiar trading are USDT pairs. So, if you want to trade USDT, you can pick USDT right here. You can pick any pair that you want to out of this list as long as it's supported by your exchange. So, if you were on Bybit, for example, and some of these spot exchanges or spot markets weren't supported, then it wouldn't show it. But this is a paper trading account, so it shows a shitload of markets here. But normally you'll be most people look at USDT, BTC, ETH. Some people look at BNB. I don't know. A lot of people use the Binance stablecoin, the USDC. So you can click around what pair you want to see. And then I can see all the available pairs that were on my exchange. So now, for example, if I wanted to go over to a Bybit pair and they have a lot of limited pairs, they probably wouldn't have all this shit. But again, this is where you pick the pair you want to trade. So let's just say I want to trade good old Bitcoin. We're looking at Bitcoin, or maybe what's a good altcoin? I don't know. What's something that makes a lot of money? Are there any altcoins here? No altcoin suggestions. All right, I'm just gonna throw up. Let's see. I'll type in T. What are altcoins that start with T? Oh wait. Why is nothing coming up? All right. I guess I had to type in the whole symbol then. All right, whatever. Fuck it. BTC USDT. So we're looking at that pair. Okay, cool. Now we've decided what exchange we're trading on, what market we're trading, and the pair we're trading. So don't know why nothing would come up when I type T. Guess you have to type in the whole pair. Whatever. We're trading BTC. Now here I've got a lot of indicators on my chart. We don't have to worry about all these indicators. I'm not going to try and confuse you with all this stuff. That's stuff that I use to trade. But here we can see now we have the Smart Trade terminal, right? And remember, this was this button right here. I'm sorry, this is the TradingView terminal. So here, if we turn this on and off, this is our chart here. And then we get the order book right here for our exchange. Now this is a simulated order book, again, because this is a paper trading account. But you can look right here at your exchange's order book to see what buy and sell orders are being placed in the vicinity of the market range. And all the fucking indicators are back. So great that my favorite indicators pop up. So there you go. It does save your configuration, so you can go ahead and save it. You can see I actually have this one synced to my TradingView. Before they didn't have that option, but now I can have it synced to my actual TradingView. So that's pretty cool. And I can save the charts there. So whatever, like if you like to draw your, your little trend lines or what have you, like, oh, we're drawing this and that, and then we got all the fib tools, brushes. I want to draw a little smiley face, so we could do everything right here. Absolutely everything that we could do on TradingView, we could do right here. And what is cool about 3COMMAS is that you can actually stack multiple indicators. So with TradingView, you need like a pro subscription or something like that to have more than 5 indicators. But here, you can stack as many fucking indicators as you want. I mean, I could just go on and pile them on. It doesn't really matter. It's like there's not going to be a limit. So this is cool. This is like, if you have a 3COMMAS pro subscription, don't really need that TradingView unless you got some other shit going on. But it's cool because you can stack as many indicators as you want, and that's really fantastic. And I don't know if that's available with the free version of 3COMMAS, but I know it is with the pro. So I'm using the pro plan right here. All right, so if we scroll down, okay, so we got past the chart, right? Everyone knows. If you don't know what TradingView is, I have another tutorial about how to use TradingView tools, how to set up risk reward ratio, all the tutorials you're probably going to need are on my channel. So we scroll down now. We're getting into the actual controls. So some of you know how to trade, and we're like, all right, great. We're getting into the good shit. So basically, we'll start on the first tab, basic buy and sell tab. So we see Bitcoin here, right? Remember, we're looking at Bitcoin. So if I wanted to buy, let's just say 1 Bitcoin, 1.5 Bitcoin, whatever, at a limit price, which means I only want to pay a specific amount of money. So it's not like I'm going in at a market order where I would buy 1.5 Bitcoins right now for the current market conditions, whatever the price is. So it's trading at 24,623. So I would buy basically at the market price. Now I could set up a limit order, and then from here I can go ahead and put what my order would want to be. So if I wanted to buy, let's say I think Bitcoin could do a little bit of a pullback. I want to buy 23,869. Let's just say that. Whatever. All right, so there we go. So then it would cost me right here. I can see my adjusted total now. So it takes the math out of the equation for me. I can see now I would spend $35,803.50, right? So that's pretty cool. And then again, if I wanted to go at the market price, that's going to change. So that's how much I would spend at the current market price, because that's how much each Bitcoin is. Now let's just say I didn't want to really think that hard, and I can do simple increments of math, and that's why I didn't want to hide the balances earlier, because now if we look at this and let's just say, all right, I want to use 10% of my balance. I can immediately use 10% of my available USDT. I'll just click 100% real quick so we can see what that is. It's $911,000. $911,404. And this is paper trading balance. I'm not fucking rich. But we can see 100%, it would show exactly what 100% of that would be of the available balance. If I had other money in positions, because right now, I think maybe there are some in the bots deals, remember? But if I had other money in other positions, then it would show how much USDT is available in my account in that exchange for certain. So if I had like $20,000 in other deals, it wouldn't say my available balance was 911,000. It would take away that, and it would show me what 100% of that was. So it's really fucking helpful if you want to do this really quickly on the fly. You can see exactly how much of your balance is there and how much of it you're using, and it's even better with leverage. So I think I may actually have to jump into a futures account to show you some of the leverage features on here. So thinking about that now. Let me grab a drink of water, and we'll see what kind of questions we got. Chain link. Oh, well, too late. Didn't see that in time. All right, so cool. No questions. Everyone's keeping up so far. All right. So now on the flip side, we have the basic sell tab. We can see how much we have. Actually, don't have that much BTC on the paper trading account. It looks like 0.26. So if I wanted to sell 100%, I'd get that much for it. That's how much units I'm selling. If it was going to be 25%, that's how much units I'm selling. That's how much I'm going to get. And that's setting at a limit price. Remember, if we go market price, it's going to be a little different. Let's say if I want to set a limit sell for, I think Bitcoin is going to come back up here, 24,500. It'd be like, all right, 24,500. And there we go. So that's how much I would get if I sold 25%, 50%, 100%. So makes life pretty easy. And that's how much BTC I have, or on the paper trading account anyway. And then you just hit sell. So I'll just go ahead and we'll just simulate this. I'll go 5%, hit sell. And you can even put a note here. Hi, Mom, because hopefully my mom's watching the stream. And then we'll confirm the transaction. But you wouldn't say hi to your mom in the notes. You'd put whatever reason you took the trade or whatever like that. Same thing for the buy. I'll just go ahead and simulate the buy real quick. We'll just buy 10%. Let's just go ahead and buy 2.5 BTC. And, because we're rich and this is fun. So we're just going to go ahead and buy. Actually, let's set up a limit order this time. Let's see if we can set it up down here. 23,920, whatever. That sounds good. All right, cool. So we'll just set that up there, and we'll just use, buy 2.5 units. There we go. Okay. So now we have made a basic sell order and a basic buy order, right? So the basic sell order is, what the fuck? Okay, so here's my sell order. And here's my buy order. So this one's waiting for a limit price. Looks like I may have paid. I don't know if I actually used limit on that sell order too. I think I did. So here now I can show you a cool feature since I'm here. I can go into this button right here, and I placed a limit order, but I can just go ahead and open now. I'm like, oh man, maybe my limit order is not going to get filled. I don't want to wait for price to go up that much more. So go ahead and open right now. And then boom. So now that is complete. Boom, finished. Panic closed. When you do a market close, it calls it a panic close. Funny guys, 3COMMAS. It's going to do that no matter what. All right, here. And then we're waiting for this long to get filled. So this is our long limit that we placed. All right. So any questions about the basic buy and sell tab before we move into the smart trade tab? Because that's where shit's going to get interesting. We got Allah Hussein says, where can we see your video on how to set up 3COMMAS? Dude, I got a bunch of playlists on my channel, man. You just I don't know where there's got to be a picture of me somewhere like it says Daily Crypto, and you just click on it, and then pretty sure it'll take you to my channel. Just go check them out. Got tons of videos, 3COMMAS, how to use TradingView, all that good stuff, all the basics, and then you can build up to using this and automating your trades with 3COMMAS. All right, so shout out to Vicky, and moving on to the smart trade tab now. Here, there is no leverage, so I'm just going to go ahead and switch over to the CU test account. So let me just, and I'm not going to place a trade on the CU test account. I'm just going to have to use the futures to show you what, how to use the leverage, because here we see there's a leverage bar. Some people don't use leverage, but I definitely want to include leverage in this presentation. So if I go back over here real quick, we'll see that there's no leverage bar. Right? No leverage bar. And this is because it's simulating a paper trading account. It doesn't simulate leverage here. You don't really need to simulate leverage on 3COMMAS paper trading. I'm sure you could do that with Binance Testnet, Bybit Futures Testnet, some shit like that. But here, there is no leverage. So I'm just going to pop over to the leverage account real quick, show you how to use that feature, and then we'll move back to paper trading so I don't make a terrible mistake. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you now. And we can see the settings kind of change because this is now a Bybit futures account. It doesn't have spot connected. So there is no basic buy and sell tab here. I'm not trading any spot indexes. But I'll scroll down. And we have a bunch of awesome tools. Let me get rid of these things again real quick because we're going to have to talk about a couple different tools like trailing, take profit, and stop loss. And I'll have to do a demonstration on here. So I'll go into the 5-minute chart. Should make things a little bit easier, I hope. Let's see if I can get that to... All right, there we go. Perfect. I didn't like how it was locked. Okay, so now I'm going into the smart long, and we're going to talk about these other options here. And I'm going in to look at first the pair, because remember, guys, all the same stuff is translating over from the basic buy and sell tab. Now we're just using all the same stuff that we were looking at and looking at the actions below. So here, first thing we're going to notice is the leverage bar. So we can use cross or isolated. I'm not going to tell you which one's better for you to use. I'm going to say I prefer to use cross because, I don't know, I prefer to use cross. I feel like isolated doesn't give me enough room for error. I could just use a stop loss on cross. That's an opinion. You can choose the option for isolated or cross. Now, I'm not going to use 50x, but whatever your exchange would allow, you can see right here. You can slide up or down. And you can also see that we'll have problems here if you start disrespecting the amount that you could actually trade with by your leverage. So now it can't be greater than 0.08 because I only have 12x leverage, and at 100% of my balance, it wouldn't be enough. It would only be 0.0861. Right, so there we go. And now if I put that up to 51, for example, 100% of my balance, I could trade as if I had 3.661 BTC. But I'm not going to be doing that, so let's just leave it at a cool 5x, put it at 100% real quick, calculate. All right, we can trade with 0.359 BTC. That's how much we could trade with, 5x, 100%. So moving down, we have limit market conditional. So I'll talk a little bit about these to explain it. I have a video that explains it as well, but remember, a limit order is what we just placed. It's if you don't want to go in at the market value. If you want to set your order for below, if you're going long, or above if you're going short, whatever the deal is, you can set a limit order for that. It doesn't have to trigger at the market price. You can buy or sell as ever much as you want. In this case, we'd be buying at a certain price. So we could set this to whatever we wanted it to be. Remember, if I think price even comes down this far, 23974, I could buy that. And oh look, that's where it is right there. So fuck it. That's where we would set a limit order if we wanted to do that. Or we could take a market order, just a couple bucks above. That's getting in at the market price right now. Then we have conditional. So this is pretty cool. What a conditional order does is it doesn't actually show up on the order book until a trigger price is met. So when we have a limit order, it gets placed on the order book. So people use market orders sometimes to avoid having their plan on the order book, right? Because here, this is like, we can see what people are doing. And this is from limit orders. So whenever people use market orders, it doesn't show up on the limit, on the order book. But whenever someone uses a conditional limit order, let's say that, for example, we don't want our trigger price to be, and I'll use a line so that way we could see where this is. Whatever price this is here, we want our trigger price to be 23923. So we'll just go ahead and put 23923. Okay, so when the price of Bitcoin reaches this, it's going to trigger our limit order. See, now that buy is right there along that line where we drew. Just go ahead and click off of that. Right? All right, and now the order price that we want to be the limit order we set right here. So we could set that at 20, right? So it's just a couple bucks below. You know, we could give it a little bit more room if you wanted to, like maybe something like 15. So price is going down, down, down. It hits 23, and then it comes to 15. Boom. It's triggered, and then it gets placed on the order book for that value, which is really close. So it doesn't have to sit on the order book all this time, because that's a long time for people to see that and make a decision upon it. Maybe it doesn't mean anything if you're not using a lot of money, but you know, it accounts for the volume on the order book. So that is just what it does. That's what a conditional order does. So same thing if we wanted to use a conditional market order. Now with the conditional limit order, we have a trigger price, and then it gets set on the order book for whatever our limit order we want it to be. With a conditional market order, all we have is the trigger price. So it's not like we're aping in at market price right now. So I'll just go ahead and delete that. Scroll up a bit. There we go. So it's not like we're aping in right now, but we don't really care about the limit order. We're just setting a conditional market order, and then whenever our trigger price is met, boom, taking it at market price. It maybe go up or down a couple bucks, but as soon as price reaches that value, it's going to trigger. And then it's going to be like, all right, we're going in at market price right then and there, even if we're away from the computer. Sorry, guys. My dog's trying to get on the stream. He was jealous he didn't get to. I invited him on the stream last time, but he didn't jump up in time, so pushed him away. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and run it back to market order real quick. Or yeah, we'll just go ahead and leave it a conditional market order. We can use trailing buy. So this is going to be however much percent you put right here is going to be. Let me come up to the chart and talk about this. Okay, so our conditional price is going to be 23926. Okay. 23926. All right, so there we go. Now, trailing buy. So if the price, right now it's at 1%. So I'll just go ahead and measure that out real quick. We have 1%. Oh, nice. Pretty far. Okay. So we have 1% right here. And our buy order is set up for right here, our conditional buy. So we would want to get in right here, right? But if price comes in here and does this and breaks below, right? And it doesn't immediately come back up, it continues to go down. We're going to wait for this period, right? For it to go down. If it keeps going down by the value of 1%, however far it goes down, when it starts to come back up, within that range, that's when it's going to execute the buy. So if you wanted to buy right here, but price actually continues to go down, then sometimes it can actually help you capture the best movement. But I have to tell you that I have experienced sometimes where price goes like this and it goes right below, and that distance is 1% is so great that it waits for the upside to make sure that it doesn't exit that range as well. right? Cool. There. So it makes sure that if price does something like this, then you're actually going to get in a delayed buy right there. And that's 1%, 1%. But in the event that it comes down below here, you would get the best entry, right? And then it comes back up and it actually fulfills your idea. And then you get, your TP hit, TP2, all that good stuff. So the trailing buy can actually be a blessing and a burden depending upon how the market carries out and depending upon how tight you have that. So, you can make it as tight as you want to. I usually like to use about 0.2 to 0.5, so it's not really that large of a gap. And you're going to get different experiences every single time you trade with that. I absolutely promise you. So don't go too hefty on any of these tools until you fully understand them, because trailing buy can be an amazing tool to really help you capture great entries. But like I said, I've experienced the opposite where it makes you miss an ideal entry just by a few notches. Sometimes, like I said, blessing and a burden type of thing. And then we have the same thing for trailing take profit, trailing stop loss. We'll talk about those in a minute. So let me, I'll finish up here, get some water, and then we'll do some questions on this part. So for the total here, I mean, obviously we went through all of this and we saw I was clicking around earlier. 100% will change this stuff up here. So let's just say I didn't want to use 100%. I wanted to use 25% of my balance. I can do that instantly. I can see exactly how much BTC I'd be able to trade with. Or let's just say, hey, you know what? I don't even want to do that. I want to put 0.05 BTC. And then that would be, I'd be using 1,196. Or I'm not even comfortable with that. Let's say I only want to use $1,000 if with leverage. So I could see I could use $8,603 right here. And then with $1,000 leverage, I get 0.041 BTC. So that's pretty convenient. I can see everything really quickly. It does all the math for me right there. And I can even execute the trade from here. We're not going to execute this trade, but we'll walk through the steps in just a moment. Let me grab some water, and then we'll take some questions. What's up, my fellas, my fellas? Johnny says, can you explain what situation you would convert a bit to smart trade? Johnny, I would love to talk about that at the end of the session. I got quite a bit of ground to cover here in this tutorial, and that's a big tangent, but we'll talk about that at the end, okay? Remind me, I know it's here in the comments, remind me about that before we dip. But let me just get through the rest of the terminal here, okay? So everyone got to this part? Sweet. Moving forward, then we're going to go ahead and go to take profit. So we don't want a 10% take profit. Let's just say we're going to target a couple levels so we can see multiple take profit targets. Let's say we want to target this little peak right here, 24055. So we can set limit or market order. Now I can go ahead and put, why does it not let me put an exact value? This is strange. It's only giving me an option to put percent, which is not fair. All right. Well, I don't like that. This is a shock to me. I don't know why I'm seeing it this way. I'm not going to waste too much time trying to figure it out. Normally, oh, wait. Maybe it's because I have a conditional order. Let me see if I can do, let me see if I change this over to market. No. Okay, yeah. Normally right here, it would give me the option to input a specific value. So if I wanted to hover over and put 24052, I could put that without having to move this little percent slider, but it looks like all I'm getting is a percent slider right now. And I don't know why that's the case. Let me see if I can turn off trailing buy. There we go. Okay. It was trailing buy. Little bastard. All right. Now I can put in the specific value. I see that's not really a viable option anyway. So I'll move over to this one here and we'll say 24109. So now I can come in here, 24109. Perfect. That's what I wanted to do. So the percent slider is cool. That's a nice feature to have, but I did not want that. So for this, I was going to go ahead and do that. Now right here, I can move in my cursor and see 24303. We'll use that. So I'll add this TP target, and I can put however much of the volume I want right here. So take note for my first TP target. See, it's $90. So if I wanted to remove, and this is 0.4%, if I wanted to remove half of my capital that I put in the trade, and remember, we're putting in now $1,000 here. So I could put in 50%, and I'm taking $500 out at take profit goal 1. That's where I'd be taking $500 out. I'd be taking profits on $500 at 0.4%. And I could do this, I could change it to whatever I would like as long as it fits the minimum order value, the minimum order amount. See right here? Doesn't meet minimum requirements, too small to make an order. So there, you can make an order with that. And I can do this multiple times. Let's just say I'm going to go ahead and take out 10%, $100. We're going to take profits there. Oh, sorry. $100. We're going to take profits there. Now I'll add that take profit target. Cool. And now I can see right here, I forgot where we said our next value was. Let's just say 24204. So then we have 24204. And this isn't a real trade if anyone's out here just joining in, trying to take this trade, don't know what the fuck's going on. We're talking about 3COMMAS. I'm learning you how to use 3COMMAS. So don't try and copy this trade because I'm not taking this trade. I'm showing you how to use the platform. Now we can see here, if we type in that value, it's 24204. That's the one I just typed in. It gives me this much percent. And then, you know, I can slide this up again to whatever I want. Thankfully, I just remembered what it was. So I'll just go ahead and put that in. And it gives me a little bit of a different value, but that's fine. Yeah, my boy Neo's getting antsy. So Neo knows. Little puggers. He's trying to get on the camera. So here again, I can put as much volume as I want. We'll step it up a notch here. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take $400 out here. We're getting ready to exit this position completely. And then maybe I can catch one of these wicks, like another big wick move. We'll just go ahead and try and call it 24251. 24251. All right, perfect. So now we're just like, all right, let's cap it out there. We're going to take the rest of our money out at that point. And then we can see how much profit we would approximately be looking for if we fully achieved every single step. So if we fully achieved every single step, it would be about $6.43. Our ROE off of 0.68 would be, and you see it's changing a little bit. That's because this is a market order here. If I change this to a limit order, it wouldn't move around, and that's because these targets are set in stone, and taking the entry from market price is constantly adjusting it. So if I were to set it to a limit, they wouldn't move at all. But in the beginning of this, we went up with the market. So there's a couple things you got to learn about how they interact with each other. And that's just from not jumping the gun. Don't come in here with 100 grand ready to fucking blow it all at the craps table. This isn't gambling. You got to learn what's up. These are tools here. We're going to build you a really nice future, a comfy, cushiony future. You just got to learn how to use it properly. So anyway, if I go back to market, then you see it's changing. And we'll go ahead and talk about the trailing take profit for the last target here. And you can see it's going to take away that estimation for you because we don't know what's going to happen with trailing take profit. But it's the same scenario. Let me just go ahead and close that into 0.5. Let's do 0.2 because this is a really tight spread we already have here. So if price comes up here and it's like, oh, price comes up and he's like, hey, you know what? I did this, and then boom, we get take profit here. Instead of exiting right here at take profit 3, it's going to wait for price to go up. So it's going to go, and if price goes up, and does a pullback. So if it pulls back 0.2%, then it's going to go ahead and get out of the trade, right? If it pulls back 0.2% right here on this move, it's going to close out right there. And that was higher than this was. But let's just say it doesn't do that right there. Oops. No. Okay, cool. I'll just draw over it. Let's just say it doesn't do that right there and it keeps going up. This pullback wasn't greater than 0.2%. It's going to keep riding. It's going to go ahead and keep riding. Give me 1 sec, guys. I got to tell these dogs to chill out. These boys are getting too rowdy over here. Hey, I told y'all to stop it. All right. So, guys, I'm so sorry about that. The idea here is whatever you specify your trailing take profit to be. If it was 0.5 now, it would be playing the percent of 0.5. As long as this pullback is not greater than 0.5% and price continues to move up, you'll stay in that position, even beyond your final take profit target. But if it is the case where price comes down here and it's like, oh, it barely comes above right here and then it goes down 0.5%, right? Then boom, you actually close out lower than what it was. So sometimes it can be helpful, sometimes it cannot be helpful. It just depends on the current situation of the market, the distance that you put between, the type of trade you're using. If you're taking a 10% swing trade, then you can have more leniency in this. You can use a 2% drawback. If price goes up, down 2% within that movement, it's not a big deal if you're targeting 10% on the overall move. But if you're only targeting like we are here, if we just go ahead and cancel that. If you're only targeting 0.69% in total, you can't really be too generous with that type of tool. But the tool is there for you to explore how to use. That's what it does. It can be a blessing and a burden. I will not stress enough that it can be good and bad. It's been plenty helpful to me. I prefer really just to not trade with it anymore. Kind of manually observe things, and maybe that's not the best way to go about it, considering this is an automated trading software. But I personally do not like to use it. I don't like to use any of the trailing tools, but that's how you use a trailing buy. That's how you use trailing take profit. We'll talk about trailing stop loss in a moment. So you know what time it is for me to get a drink of water, check up on your comments and questions, see what you guys got. So before we get into stop loss, let me get some of that. Oh, no, I can't. Man, I need a water sponsor. I drink a lot of water. How do you get sponsored for like energy drinks? You think they would sponsor me for a crypto show? Someone should plug me up with I like vitamin water. It'd be cool if I get vitamin water to sponsor me. I don't really like energy drinks. So, vitamin water, let's do it. All right, let's see what's good here. Johnny says, can you explain what? Oh, no. T-Cal says, told you your dog looks bossy. Nah, they're up here trying to play around. I like whenever they play around with each other. It's, they're brothers, so I like when they get along, but just can't be making no ruckus, because then they're going to start barking and shit while I'm on stream. Y'all ain't going to be able to hear me. Gotta stop it before it gets out of hand. All right. Cool, so no questions then. No questions? All right. We're going to go ahead and set a stop loss. Why would we risk $39 for $7? So most of the times, body armor is what you need. Man, if they sponsor me, sure. But I like vitamin water. All right, moving forward. It usually always comes with a 4% stop loss. It might come different for you. I don't know. Most times it always pops up 4% for me automatically. But that's not what I want. Let's just say that there's a little bit of a market trend right here, and maybe it doesn't make a whole bunch of sense, but we'll put it at 23926. It's right below that wick, 239.265. Put limit 926.5. All right, perfect. That's 0.45%. So we're risking $4 loss for a $7 gain. That's not terrible. So the risk to reward ratio, look at that. It even tells you your risk to reward ratio, and that is fucking awesome, is it not? All right, that is fucking awesome. That's what I'm talking about. So if I put this at limit, remember, it wouldn't change. It's going to be changing a little bit right now because this is a market order. If we use limit, none of that would change. But you can even see your risk to reward ratio. So, I mean, I don't know how much better it gets than this. I don't know what you've been using, but I can tell you it's not as good as this. Anyway, we can put our, there's a couple options I didn't talk about over here in market order, like, ask, bid, and spread and shit like that. We can come right here, bid, ask, and last. So you can either pay the bid price, which is what people are bidding at. You can pay the ask price, which people are asking for, or the last price, which was the last traded price on the order book. Doesn't really matter. They're all going to be pretty close within the spread. So I'm just going to go ahead and run with last. And then we can do, limit order, market order. We know the difference between the two. This is, if I want a conditional limit order, we have the, no. Reconnection successful. Are we here? I don't know what's up, guys. Are we online still, or did I fucking get booted? Hello? Can someone drop me a comment? We back? Okay. It's still the same stream? Don't know what happened. We good? Hello? Sorry, guys. That was strange. I think my shit just tweaked out. All good. All right. Cool. I'll finish running through this. Don't know what that was about. I got a weird little pop-up there. It said OBS was disconnected. That's what I'm using to stream to you guys. So thought there was an issue. All right, sweet deal. So moving forward, then the stop loss timeout. So this is gonna say, oh shit, look at that. We should have got in that trade. But this is going to say that we'll just go ahead and use 1 minute, 60 seconds, because that's easy math for me. So if the price of the asset that we're trading and it comes down here and we bought it and it's going toward our stop loss, it pokes down below, but it doesn't stay there for the full minute or however long you put there, 10 minutes, then it comes back up, you actually don't get stopped out. So if you ever had those movements where price goes just to your stop loss and they trigger you out, that wick goes down and then it goes right back up, and then you're like, damn, I got stopped out of the trade, and then it pumped all the fucking way up like that. Yeah, it happens, right? So, oh my goodness, that is an amazing tool. You can put it for 60 seconds if you're scalping, 30 seconds, whatever. If you're trading on a larger time frame, you can put seconds here. So there's going to be 600 seconds, which is going to be 10 minutes if I'm not stupid. It might be stupid. And then I think by basic math, 900 seconds would be 15 minutes. So you can put it whatever you want to, right? And it would actually trend in that direction. As long as it doesn't stay in that direction after that amount of time, you wouldn't get stopped out. But, right? Because there has to be a but. Let's talk about this. Let's just go back down to 10 minutes. And let's say we set a stop loss here for 10 minutes. And price is coming down. It's like, oh. And, sometimes it does that where it pops back up. But then we stay in. And then 5 minutes later, it's way down here. Oh, no. Wah, wah, wah. I need a soundboard. Man, we need a studio and shit. So that way, how Joe Rogan has Jamie? It'd be like, because right now someone could have went like wah 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 on the soundboard right there, because that would make you lose more money, right? Because in the first event, if it goes down, pops back up, yay, you didn't get stopped out for nothing. But when it goes all the way down and then boom, 10 minutes passes, you get stopped out for more than what you intended to get stopped out for. That could be bad in a lot of scenarios. So, these tools are up to you how to use them. If you want to use them, I would say play around with them. Get familiar with how they work. And then we look forward, we have the trailing stop loss. So I'm sure you're familiar with trailing tools now, right? So in this instance, though, the trailing stop loss is actually going to move up every time the price moves away from your entry. So where was our entry here already? It's like way past because we're at limit. I can't remember, or at market. I can't remember where we wanted to set our limit order. So let's just say that our limit order was going to be right here. And say it was like right here. Okay, so the trailing stop loss, or the stop loss is now, how far is that? Oh, it's 1.7%. Fuck. All this is messing up for me now, guys, because we didn't set that limit order and the market price soared through our take profits. I didn't think that price was going to move that high that quickly. But anyway, let's just say that this is 0.39% now. And the price that where we bought it, it moves up. We're right here, right? And let's say we had additional take profits because it looked like take profit 3 would have filled right there. But we move up with price. So let's say, boom, price is here. And we just barely hit TP1. So now our stop loss would move from that position where we originally had it, 23926, and it would maintain that distance. So if price came here, only hit TP1, and then came back down, it would stop out right there, which may or may not be just above entry in that case. But if price comes back up, and we see it came up all the way to here in this instance, then the trailing stop loss would be here. So now if I move that over just for reference sake, we can see that price hasn't closed. So in this instance, it looks like it may have closed out right there with your trailing stop loss because the price reached this level and the trailing stop loss would have maintained that distance. So probably would have stopped out right now at that point. So whatever that distance is going to be initially from the stop loss is what's going to be maintained by the trailing stop loss tool. And I'm sorry, I kind of screwed the pooch on that one because I left this at a market order and everything just kind of went through the roof there. So sorry about that, guys. But initially, wherever the limit order is, wherever the stop loss is from your entry, it's going to maintain that distance. So imagine as price goes up and you're getting your take profits filled, even if you're in between two take profits and price reverses back down, your trailing stop loss is going to be there. So it's actually it's a nice tool. One of the bad things about it is if we're in a larger gap scenario, let's say we are using that 4% stop loss, price moves up 2%, then trailing stop loss is activated and price has followed it. So now your stop loss is actually only 2% from where it initially was. Price goes back down and you get stopped out for a 2% stop loss when your initial stop loss was 4%. So I usually don't like to turn that on until after the trade actually gets into profits at that point, if I am using this tool. I don't like to turn it on initially when I'm first taking the trade because sometimes it goes up, and if it's a larger percentage on the stop loss, the distance isn't cleared enough on the take profit side for it to break even if it comes back down. But if you clear multiple take profits, it really shouldn't be an issue. Like I said, just have to get into a profitable area first before I turn that on, because sometimes it will lead me into losses, like I said. So experiment with the tool, and then move to break even is a fantastic tool. So remember how we were taking out increments of our trade here at these take profits? We have 10% here. Now it's lower or equal to the buy price because of that damn market order. But here we have 10%, 40%, 50%, and this was 100, 400, 500 bucks because we're using $1,000 because we wanted to make an easy presentation. So at each step, at each step here on the take profit goal, it would move to the break even price, right? So you got to have at least two targets. If you have one, it's not going to work right. So it's not going to work at all. You can't use it if you have one. You have to have two. So if you don't even have any of these other tools on, if you don't have that, you don't have that at all. So this, I actually love move to break even, because then it's going to take you to the average entry price. So you take some profits there, whatever is left in the trade. Now you have, at the first step, we took out 100 bucks. So now you have 900 bucks, and the stop loss is going to move up automatically to where your average entry price is. So it's pretty badass. You get to pretty much break even as long as you have multiple take profits. It'll automatically keep adjusting along the way. So it's really great for those bigger trades where you're targeting higher percentages. It's also great. It's good for scalping too. I'm not going to say great for scalping. It's good for scalping if you distribute your balances properly. I've often said that I like to use a small amount here just to get the alerts triggered on the take profit goals. And if you're using small quantities, then the break-even price isn't really going to be, it couldn't sometimes be above the entry price. And having to pay for exchange fees, that could make you lose some bread and butter sometimes. So make sure that the distances between your take profit goals are adequate, and if you're using move to break even, that you have your quantities distributed fairly, and you're not too light in the early distribution and then heavier at the end. You need to have equal distribution through your take profit goals in order for that to work as effectively as possible. Because here, 10% is pretty weak on the first one. 40%, it would make a better break-even price, and then 50% would be good. If it was like maybe 30, 30, 30, or 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, something like that, it would be a lot better for those incremental values. So yeah, that's how we take along. And any questions about that? Any questions about that shit? No, we have probably have a lot of questions there. Can't believe you guys don't have any questions, honestly. Y'all handled it like champs if there's no questions. What's up? And then we got let me see where we were at there. Body armors with Red Bull. Yeah, there were a couple comments. Sorry guys, I was stressed about I thought the stream cut off midstream. I was like, no. So let me check back up on those comments, because I did see that Red Bull one. Make every market a bull market. Israel, that's some fucking flame right there. Red Bull needs to put me on for that. Red Bull needs to put us on for that. Put me and my boy Israel on for that shit. He says, I'm told a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio is standard. That's pretty good. I would say, I mean, what's standard in retail trading? But at least 1-to-1. If it's not 1-to-1, don't even take it. 1 to 1.5 is good. 1 to 2 is fantastic. If you can get a whole bunch of trades at 1 to 2, that's great. If you can find 1 to 3 trades, that's even better. But you have to realize that sometimes, even if you're projecting 1 to 3, it may not go all the way to your final take profit goal, and you have to manage it on the fly. So don't, let it go. Don't let a 1 to 3 is like, oh, I could make 3 times as much as I'm losing. It goes up, and 2/3 of the way, and then comes back down into a stop loss. Don't do that. So when it comes to managing your trades, not everything's going to turn out to be a 1 to 3. But if you can at least target a 1-to-1, then I don't know. You don't want to do that all the time. 1-to-1 is not the standard you want to go for. I would say at least 1 to 1.5, 1 to 2. 1 to 3 is fantastic, but not everything's going to turn out that way, just realistically. If you can find a good 1 to 3 setup, take it. And then, all right, cool. We back, same stream. We online, 2022. Had to close my app. TCal, yeah, we good. Boy Tamello, all good. Alasan, we're here. Boy Tamello, I'm in that trade. Boy Tamello, what the fuck? I told you, dog. This was straight up not a real trade. I mean, I don't know. I was pulling those values out of my butt. That's kind of how my head works, though. But I mean, yeah, I wasn't really trying to take that trade. It was just for a setup. Boy Tamello, you crafty dog. Crafty. Let's see. Jacob said you had one? I had one what? I had a sponsor? I never had a sponsor. My entry was 24K. Nice. Solid. Johnny says, fuzzy picture, not sure if it's my internet or yours. I hope it's not my internet. I don't know, it could be mine because I just got that ugly ass, yeah, I got that ugly ass whatchajigger that popped up, said OBS was going down on my end. So I think, it could be me. I hope it's not me. Sorry if it's me. Also, try to click 1080p. Maybe your default settings are not at 1080p on the YouTube stream. Jacob says, memory def getting refreshed. Haven't had an active account since I lost my keys. SMH. TCal says, I'm waiting for the leverage bot, trying to avoid liquidation. Yeah, I shared that leverage bot setup in the CU Discord, man, in the automated income channel. I think you're a student. You should be able to check that shit out. And I'll talk about the setup, too, in the next video. I have a tutorial, literally. I have a tutorial posted about how to make that bot. But, I'll talk about that setup next week at the bot performance. Anthony Lewis says, you need to be sponsored by Smart Water. Well, I don't know who Smart Water is. I'd prefer if I could get sponsored by Vitamin Water. Let's go, boys. Tag Vitamin Water. Do they even have YouTube? We're not going to make it. Juan, we are not going to make it. We are not going to make it. Wangmi. Everyone says Wangmi, guys. Wangmi. Not gonna make it. But anyway, you had a sound. Oh yeah, I did. I need someone to operate the soundboard. All right, so it seems like everyone knows how to do smart long. Then we'll go ahead and move into the smart short. That way I can go ahead and get out of here. So here we have the smart sell, smart short, smart buy. But I want to move away from the real balance here, so I don't make a mistake. I want to make sure I didn't do anything there. Let me just go ahead and cancel all of this. I want to make sure none of that gets put on there, really. Alright, cool. Alright, now let me just put that to $1 so I know I'm going to get an error if anything does happen. Alright, neat. So now we will move over to the smart short. This is going to be, same shit, whoop-de-doo, except in the opposite direction. If you don't know, guys, if you're a future trader, you can make money when the markets go up or down. You can bet that the money is going down. It's really just like, I'm going to bet, I speculate that the price of Bitcoin is going down. And I'm going to buy these contracts that say so. That's in essence what it is. I mean, there's more technical terms to it, but if you're if you want to go short, you're basically speculating that the price is going down, and you can take a short order. It doesn't matter. You can still profit if Bitcoin's going down. I don't know who lied to you, who hurt you, but it's all good. Now you know. You can short Bitcoin. It's okay if it goes down. It's all good. Knowledge is power. So anyway, let's take a look at a quick short setup real quick. And for the love of God, nobody take this trade. Boy Tamello said he took the last trade. This is just for example purposes. Jeez Louise. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set up. This time I'm going to use a limit so things don't get funky. And I'm going to walk through this a little bit quicker. Now you can jump back and see where I've talked about things if you get confused. You can ask a question if you get confused. I'm going to walk through this one a little bit quicker and sort of just think out loud here. So let's say that I want to take this short, and this time I'm feeling a little bit more cocky, whatever. I'm going to use 20x. We're not going to use 5x this time, and we're not trading this at all. This is just for simulation. I'm walking this through you how to take this trade, how to use the terminal. So we're going to go at 20x, and I'm going to say, all right, we're taking a limit order, and I'm just going to go ahead and use 5% of my balance so I don't get licked, and I'm going to go ahead and take my limit order. So let's say that, I think price could probably pull up to 24182. Let's see how far that is. 24182.5. Let's see if I can get that. All right, that'd be just about to be filled anyway. So whatever. I'd probably be moving a little bit quicker if I wasn't talking to an audience, but yeah, that's probably something I would do if I was trying to jump in on that. But I'm not trying to jump in on this anyway. So that's a limit order that we're gonna set, and so none of my other shit moves around like it did last time. 5%, boom, 20x. So that's how much I'm putting in right there. 1720. All right, and that's how much BTC we're gonna be borrowing short. All right, so. That's what trading with futures is. You know, I said there was some technical stuff earlier. Trading with borrowed funds, in essence. If you're stepping over how much you actually have, you can put up your whole account for liquidation. There's a bunch of shit you should know before you try futures trading. But I'm doing the example. It's the exact same example if it were on spot, except you wouldn't have the leverage slider. Remember, there's no leverage involved. Put the price in, do all those exact same steps. You have a limit order, market order, stop loss, all the same shit. If it was on spot, or if it was on futures, the only difference in this setup here is the leverage slider, and I wanted to be sure to include that for my futures traders because I know there's a shitload of futures traders coming out to these meetings or to these streams. Sorry guys, I've had a shitload of meetings this week. Yeah, this month. So anyway, we're gonna say that we want our first take profit order. We're going in the opposite direction, right? Remember, if we're trying to go long, we're taking profits up here. Now let's just say I want to take profits before we even get into this area. Let's see if I can get a TP1 at let's play that bar right. Let's play that bar. 24084. 24084. And sorry if I look like an old man, like I'm squinting and shit. I got these lights in my face. I wish it wasn't this way. I wish this wasn't the way it had to be, but this is the way it has to be. So anyway, looks like boom. If we would have ate up on that shit, we would have got filled. But anyway, there's our TP1. And we'll set up, you know, we need another TP, so we'll set up TP2 right here. 23974. So we're going in, oh yeah, and here for my adding the TP target, I need to set up how much volume I want there. So remember here, I can see exactly how much USDT that is. So let's just say I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm trying to get that up to 500 bucks. 499 is cool. All right. And then where was this at again? What did I say? 23, we'll just go 23965. 23965. It's going to be 0.89%. Here, we'll try and get another 5 honey out. You get 5 of them Franklins. All right. And now for the last take profit target, I'm not even going to look up there. Let's just say I want to go ahead and go at 1%. See where that ends up. Oh, it's not that far below the break. So, yeah, fuck it, right? You can put whatever percent I wanted here. If I wanted 1.5%, it's going to adjust. Just going to go ahead and leave it at 1% because we've been typing them in manually. So I just want you to know you can use the slider. You know, I was frustrated at first because that didn't pop up and I couldn't figure out why. It's because of the trailing buy. And in this case, it would be a trailing sale because we're taking a short. But in the other case, the trailing buy was preventing us from doing that. So click around. You can troubleshoot yourself. And moving forward, I'm going to go ahead and cap out here. So that's $739. We got 7 Benjis. We got 3 Hamiltons. We got 4 George Washingtons. And 1 Abraham Lincoln. We got them dead presidents on deck. So we're going to take them profits right there for the last, how much money on the last take profit target there. And boom, we can see our approximate profit. Now remember, we have trailing take profit. It's going to work in the exact same way that it worked on the upside, except to the downside. So I'm not going to use trailing take profit. But, you know, just remember, if we set that up for whatever it was here, let's just say 0.5%. Goes past here and it goes past in 0.5%. It's like boom, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Has a 0.2% retrace, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Has a 0.7% retrace. We're out at 0.5% of that retrace. So, but I'm not. No. I fucked up my last take profit. Yeah, I fucked up my last take profit. I pressed back too many times. Let me see. There it is. Okay. Sorry. All right, there we go. All right, so that's what the trailing take profit does there, remember? And then set the stop loss. So now our stop loss is going to be on top. So obviously we're going to play that big ass wick right there. And we'll say 24258. Ooh. Got the devil in here. All right, so there's our stop loss. We'll use limit order so we don't get different numbers, shit moving around. We can see how much the percent is. If we wanted to go to 0.5% stop loss, you know, we can see right there what it would be. I already forgot what we said it was going to be. Put it 24254. All right, so it's 0.29%. Pretty damn close. That's pretty damn close there. We can see we got 2.75%. Almost homeboy's 1 to 3% risk reward ratio. You know, you might have to squeeze that in a little bit better or project higher on the take profits to satisfy some of your criteria. And that's okay. You know, if you have that kind of criteria, if you only take 1 to 3 trades, that's fine. It's up to you, you know. Don't take my suggestions for it. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. If you want to take 1 to 3 trades, just manage them properly and make sure you don't ride a winner into a loser just because it doesn't go all the way to your TP, and then just let it hit your stop loss. It's okay to take profits early and upset that risk to reward ratio by taking profits early. So anyway, moving forward, remember guys, we have the stop loss timeout. So if price pumps, if everyone starts buying Bitcoin and it pumps up like that, and it's like, get this out the way, starts pumping up like that, trash that anyway. And then it goes, oh, and then and it comes back down. So it was like pump, dump, right? We get a little bit of divergence here, whatever. Then we don't get stopped out. You know, here we have that 300. So what is that? 5 minutes, I think. I might be stupid. I think that's 5 minutes. So if it comes up, pumps, and then doesn't sustain above that level for 5 minutes, you know, there's a 5-minute time frame. We see it just had a wick like that not too long ago. Maybe it does that same shit again. It goes pump up and then dump again. So we don't get stopped out. There's your stop loss timeout, except now it's on the top. Trailing stop loss, we have the same dealio now, so I can talk about it a little bit better in this instance because all this shit is neutral. So here we have a distance of 0.3%. Right here is 0.29, but whatever, we'll just use that 0.3%. And if price, we'll use this bar. So price is now represented by this bar right here. Price comes up into this region, doesn't even hit TP1, you know, it's still following. The stop loss is right there. Stop loss is right here. So this yellow line gets moved. This was our stop loss. This was our stop loss. Now it's right here, right at this 0.3% deviation. Now price comes here. It passes TP1. Price comes right here. It goes, and then, so we're at TP1. Now the deviation is here. Now the stop loss is here. All right, so now price keeps going down here to TP2, whatever it hits TP2, yay, we get paid. If it comes back up, reverses direction by a percentage of 0.3%, boom, our trailing stop loss is there because it was trailing the entire way, maintaining that distance, and it stopped out right there. And that's how the trade would close. So, getting rid of that shit. So yeah, it could be a really fucking nice tool. Sorry, I screwed the pooch on the explanation on that last one. Because I had a lot of stuff going on and I left the initial order as a market and we got that pump, so that pump messed everything up on the explanation. Not really. The market order just kind of made it look a little funky. But yeah, now you can see how the trailing stop loss would actually benefit from that stationary position and how it would follow the price down. And then we have move to break even. So again, you have to be consistent with these here because it's going to pretty much move to the average entry price of your assets. So whenever you remove assets here, whenever you take out, what are we taking out? 5 Franklins? Yeah, I think we said 500 at that first mark. So whenever you take out that money, ooh, it popped my neck. Whenever you take out that money, it's going to be removed from how much money you actually have in there. So it's going to change your average entry price. And that is going to be your adjusted stop loss. So move to break even isn't always going to exactly be move to break even. But that's a nice name for the tool. So there we go. Now we've seen how to plan a long and a short on futures. If you have any questions about that, I'm going to pop back over to paper trading. If not, and we'll finish out on a couple more terminals. I'm going to do a couple more demos. I know we have, how long has that been? Oh, just about an hour. Nice. Not too bad. Cool. So we're making good time. Excellent, excellent. Lots of valuable information here. If you've never seen what it looks like inside 3COMMAS, it's the fucking bee's knees, dude. It's the boss. 3COMMAS is the sauce. Maybe they don't appreciate my profanity, but that's all good. Because I'm building rapport with my people, right? We gotta keep it 100 with my boys. Gotta keep it. Dab me up, dog. Dab me up, dog. You know what I'm saying? Gotta keep it 100. So yeah, let me check out what kind of comments we gotta go through. Man, I should have brought my Oreos over here. They're so far. I'm not gonna get up and walk away from the stream, but I want those Oreos. Baby! Hi, baby. Diva Mac's in the house. She says hi. Diva Mac, everyone shout out Diva. She keeps me fit, keeps me full, rubs my back. Shout out Diva Mac. Let me see, where are those comments at? Boy Tamilo says, and a $20 and 20% promo code just for us on that water. For sure, dude, for sure. If we got vitamin water sponsor me, I would be like, all right, you already know I need 25% off for all my boys. We're not gonna be the, you know how they have the Fiji boys, they got the island boys. We're gonna be the fucking vitamin boys. That's right. We're gonna change the scene, bro. We're gonna change the game. Gotta get everybody healthy and wealthy. You know what I'm talking about? Jacob says, gotta clock back into this damn corporate job. Hit me up, you number not blocked. Out, peeps. All right. Peeps, Jacob, fucking putting our business out there, but whatever. Israel says, what's worse, buying the top or selling the bottom? Selling the bottom. Easy. You know, you can buy the top. Well, depends on the asset. Bitcoin, it's all good. Gold, it's all good. Gonna go up in value. Historically, gold's gone up in value. Historically, Bitcoin's gone up in value. Some of these other altcoins, so far so good, but I don't know if that's always going to be the case. Buying the top is forgivable. Selling the bottom is absolutely unfucking forgivable. If you bought a crypto that you believe in, hold that shit. If you bought some shit coin, you know, cut your losses. If you bought Bitcoin, hang on to it. It's all right. Selling the bottom is unforgivable. Buying the top is excusable. Is he permissible? Excusable. Whatever. Same shit. All right, Boy Tamello says message retracted. Good one, Boy Tamello. All right, cool. So we've seen how to take a short, how to take a long. I'm gonna pop over to the paper trading balance now, so I don't make any mistakes. Whew. You know, it's not a lot of money on the account, but we definitely don't want to throw that away. We're running some tests with it and shit. It's not like you would just. I don't think you would throw away $2,000 either. So it's not like, you know, huge deal, end of the world type shit. But I definitely don't want to throw it away, make the wrong trade, or set up something wrong, and, you know, fuck, it goes the wrong way. So moving down here now, the things look a little bit different. We have buy, sell, smart trade, smart sell, smart cover, smart buy. It looked a little bit different from the other side, but remember the leverage slider was there, and that's because it was for futures. So now we had the basic buy sell terminal. We walked over that already. Here's the smart trade terminal. So in the other portion when we were in futures, it said smart long, and then the other one said smart short. This is the smart trade terminal. So this is exactly what we just talked about. Exactly what we just talked about. If I came over here and went to the USDT market, now it put me in Ethereum. So whatever, if we wanted to trade Ethereum, we wanted to set up a smart trade to go long, this is where we would do it. And that's exactly what we just talked about, except now there's no leverage slider because this is for spot. So if you're on a spot exchange, if you're not trading with leverage, the entire walkthrough we just did is still valid to you. You just don't have a leverage slider, and that's fine. A leverage slider makes that shit so much easier than calculating all that hard math. But, you know, if you don't have leverage, don't even worry about it. Not a big deal. Then we come over here to the smart cover. So I would have to have some of the ETH first. Let me go over to Bitcoin. I think I still have some BTC, so should work if I have BTC. All right, so here... Now, when we're looking at a futures position, we don't have to own BTC to short sell it, or the asset we want to short sell. We can speculate that it's going to go down by buying contracts. Remember, all that technical mumbo jumbo, no one gives a shit about. Basically, you don't have to own Bitcoin to short it if you're doing it on futures, perpetuals, whatever you want to call it. But on spot exchange, if I want to short Bitcoin, I absolutely have to own it. I absolutely have to own Bitcoin. I can't short it. I can't. Borrowing money is what you're doing on futures. So we're borrowing someone else's funds to short them in the hopes that it goes right. And then we give them their money back and we take our cut. And they get a little bit too for lending us the money. So anyway, when we're on spot, we absolutely have to own it. So you see, whenever I was on ETH, it gave me an error, right? Because like, oh, dude, you don't have no ETH, bro. You got to at least have this much ETH. I don't have no ETH, right? All right, no ETH. So if I come over here to BTC, we've got some BTC. So now we're just going to go ahead and be like, all right, cool. Well, this is how much BTC I got. This is how much I can short. So it's the same thing. If we're doing a smart cover to smart short, it's just called being cover of the asset because Now you're going to want to try and sell it for one price and rebuy it later. So in the futures market, we're not rebuying anything, technically. I mean, we don't give a shit about rebuying anything. We just give a shit about the market going down and taking profits when it goes down. We get out of that position. Everyone gets their money back. We take our profits. Like I said, he gets a cut. It's all good. When we're on the spot market, we're selling our Bitcoin and we're absolutely hoping that it's going to go down to a lower price that we can rebuy more for cheaper, or rebuy the same amount and pocket the difference as a profit. So you can do this on spot. You know, if you have Bitcoin, whatever it is you want to short sell, you just have to own it first. Absolutely have to own it first. So now that we got that out of the way, I hope everyone can understand that. It's the exact same shit. If it's, you know, if you want to set the limit order, come over here. We say how much of our BTC we want to sell. 25, 50%. It's going to change everything right here. Market order, how much would it be? How much would we get? Conditional, limit, market. Just don't have a slider. Set take profit. And remember, we're going down here, so we could set this up however we want. We set up our little stop loss there. Let's just say we just wanted to do 1% to 3%. Homeboy wants that 1 to 3 ratio. There we go. You know, looks good. Whatever. I would probably try and put my stop loss above that point and swing high, you know, logically speaking. But just running through this in a really quick demeanor now, so that we can understand that everything we just went through in Smart Long and Smart Cover are exactly the same thing. The only difference here is whenever you're picking and choosing an exchange, one of them is going to be spot, and this is going to limit your options or change the interface, what it looks like. The other one's going to be futures, and it's possibly going to change the interface, what the tabs say. But all the actions are still going to be the same. Everything is still going to be exactly the same. So once we get into that, then we have these other basic terminals, so Smart Sell and Smart Buy. So this isn't if we want to take a trade per se. This is if we're interested in buying or selling at a certain price. So for Smart Buy, if I wanted to buy some Bitcoin, I could, you know, set whatever price I want to buy it at, and I could take a profit. I could set a stop loss. It would be very similar to a smart trade, right? But here we could see that we don't have a couple of the options like for price where we have limit, market, conditional. So it's not like nerfed or, you know, baby version or anything like that. But it's just a different way, so that way we can set up, you know, how much money of the USDT we have, how much that we're going to buy in Bitcoin whenever it reaches a certain price. So just really quickly, I'll go ahead and set this up. If I wanted to just get 1.5 units, you can see this is changing. You know, if I change this again, you can see it's changing at the bottom, right? So now we're going to say that our sell price here, this is what we had initially sold BTC for, right? So let's just say that, what is that at right now? Let's say that 2444. 2440. Okay, so now we have the sell price on the board. Now we'll go and take a profit. So let's see, we'll set that up. It's 4% on the screen. Okay, no. 3% on the screen. That looks reasonable. So remember, I'm just trying to get it up to that point right there now where candlesticks are. So then we go to, I'm just going to go ahead and do 100% there. Oh, it must be less than 100. All right, word. Sorry. Oh, sorry, boys. I messed that one up. Trying to run through this too quickly now. I'll split it up into 2 take profits then. Let me go back here. Oh, okay, cool. Is it gonna let me do that now? No? Alright, cool. Whatever. I'll do 2 take profit targets. We'll go 50%. Add take profit target there. And then I'll put the other one. Well, I'll try and get it like right here. 23222. Alright, cool. All right, so that would give us, then we have our approximate profit there, what that would be. And then our stop loss, I'll just set that up. What was the first one at 3%? So I think 2% is doable. I'll put it right there, and then we can just go ahead and act like we're going to use that stop loss timeout tool. So that way if it pumps up above that, you know, because normally I'd like to have my stop loss a little bit above that if I were making a real, you know, reasonable trade. I would like to have my stop loss just above a recent high. This is the 1H time frame. I should have put it on the 5 minute. I didn't realize that it went to the 1H time frame. But anyway, I would like to have it above here, but whatever. Let's just say that if price pops up and above, we're going to use that stop loss timeout tool. It's the 1H time frame. I definitely don't want to put an hour on there, but we'll pump that up a little bit to 600 seconds. We're not going to use any of those other tools. So, all right. So now that would be the setup there. So we'll just go ahead and create that trade if we wanted to run it like that. And if we want to do the same thing for a smart sell, it would be just, the opposite direction. So in this instance here, we are waiting for price to come to this mark, and then we're just going to go ahead, sell out, and then try to rebuy here or here. Or, if price continues to pump up, we're just going to be like, fuck, we messed up, and we're just going to go ahead and rebuy right back here. But remember, we have that timeout tool. So if price comes up and it's like, oh man, we made a mistake, and price comes up here and it fails to stay above this for 10 minutes, then we're just going to go ahead and rebuy at whatever price that comes up. It's like, damn, we failed and we hit a stop loss. But, if it comes back, let me get rid of that real quick and that. But if it comes back down this way, so if price comes up here and like, yay, we sold. And then it comes back down here, it's like, yay, we rebought 50% of the BTC we sold. It's like, boom, yay, we rebought the other 50% that we sold. We did it. Job well done. All right. That's what the smart buy would do. And the smart sell is, exactly the same thing, except it goes the other way. So it calculates for the bought price and the sold price. So if you put that price in there, whatever price that you had paid for or sold your Bitcoins at, then it'll help you make the money back on it in an educated way, or in a way that would make sense, because you weren't initially tracking it, if that makes sense. If you didn't initiate it, because here on the Smart Trade Terminal, you initiate it from start to finish, right? So we initiated the trade from start to finish. Every action was taken here. Now, when we go over to like the Smart Buy, the Smart Sell, the action wasn't taken there. So that's how much you actually, that was a selling price that we had sold for BTC or whatever, and this is where we're trying to go and get the actions taken. So it didn't have to wait for price to be filled there. If price was already here at this point, this is just the mark price that we had sold our Bitcoin from. I shouldn't say mark price because that might confuse someone for liquidation. But this was the price where we had sold our BTC at. And now we're trying to recapture, if it wasn't involved in a smart trade yet, we're trying to recapture right here at TP1. We're trying to rebuy some BTC there and rebuy some BTC here, or rebuy it all here if price goes up. So it's not like we have to wait for here to sell, because that would be like a smart trade feature. But this is as if we have already sold and now we're trying to rebuy, right? So this is coming out of our USDT bag because we have already sold that much Bitcoin. So we're marking that we have sold 1.25 BTC for that much, and now we want to rebuy it. So it's the same thing if it was going into the smart sell. Except we already bought it, and then we're going to want to sell it. But we didn't capture the buy action with the smart trade, so it wasn't tracked. And then now when you do that, it can be tracked. And our other order still hasn't filled. And that is, that's a walkthrough of all the dealios here. And then I'll just transfer back over to the real account real quick so we can see that how the tabs change here. We have, same thing, smart long, smart short, smart sell, smart buy. That was the same shit that we were just talking about. So come back over here, remember, smart sell, smart buy. So those two don't change names. The only ones that change names are smart trade and smart cover. They go from smart short to smart long. And then buy and sell is not existent in a futures exchange. So that is a complete walkthrough of the 3COMMAS Smart Trade Terminal. All right, boys, you know the damn deal. It's time for some Q&A. It's time for me to hydrate my lips. All right. So any questions on anything we talked about today, guys? I know this stuff keeps popping up. It's because they're my favorite tools, and we're not talking about any indicators or any how to trade or anything like that today. We just walked through the 3COMMAS Smart Trade Terminal. Showed you guys how to set up a trade. There were a couple real quick, not 100% accurate ideas that I used to narrate them, but I just wanted you to see how to use the tools. So some of those ideas and portrayals of trade ideas, weren't exactly meant to be followed, and they weren't meant to be followed at all. was just showing you how to use the tool. So hopefully, if you did follow trades, I think Boy Mello said she was in profits on something. Congratulations. I didn't set them up for that purpose. But yeah, let's see what we got on Q&A. Boy Mello says, question. Does the indicators you made show on TradingView? Can you see them on 3COMMAS or Bybit? On 3COMMAS or Bybit? Yeah, so that is one of the major downfalls currently of anything that incorporates TradingView. If it's going to be on 3COMMAS or your exchange, wherever they have a TradingView integration, you cannot use private scripts. So if you're using a private script like one of my EMA trading indicators, Visual Assistants, or Crypto University's Nitrous Bull, then you're not going to be able to transport that into this TradingView chart right here. So you can see if I try to type it up, right, I would have to go to my invite only scripts on TradingView, and I can't find any of that stuff here because it's not in the public library. So if it's in the public library, you'll be able to find it, but that's also kind of limited too if it's not very popular. But you can scroll through the indicators and see what's available. But invite only scripts are not going to be able to be viewed inside of 3COMMAS, inside of any exchange where it's got TradingView integration. Those are going to have to be viewed directly on TradingView. So that's a negative. And then we got, I'm your student, but I don't have to learn. Ala Hassan, I don't really get that part. I'm your student, but I don't have to learn. Yeah, I don't really know what you mean on that, but all right. And then we got, Johnny says, how many charts can you save on 3COMMAS? TradingView, I have only the Pro setup, which enables 5 max. That is a good question. I don't know. I can, I'll try and save a couple of them real quick and see how many I can save. Let me see. I'll say, let me see if I can make a copy. I'll call it the 1 copy. Yeah, I'll just start spamming this and see how many I can make real quick. All right, so I'll make a copy. The 1 copy. This is gonna be fun. The 1 copy. 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 I'm having a malfunction. Oh, I did a rename. All right, let's see if those all saved. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 so far. You want to see how many I can get? All right, who wants to see how many I can get before the stream's over? That's like a game. See how many of these motherfuckers will fit on there. No, I just saved 10 of them though. So you can at least save 10. I don't know. I could probably do more. We'll see. And can you explain when you'd convert a bot to a smart trade? Oh yeah, convert a bot to a smart trade. Yeah, so I mean, depending upon where the bot, I mean, it feels like this is a paper trading account, so I don't have any bots and bad deals right now. But whenever it really depends on the market scenario. If you have intended for your bot to cover that deviation, and I mean, the bot's doing its job really. I think a lot of people have this misconception about bots where they put way too much money into it, and then all their shit's down in the red, and they're like, oh my god. And they don't really have the deviation met, or they don't have the safety order scale to sustain their deviation that they implemented. And they're like, yeah, it looks good on paper. If price goes down 40%, all I need is the 17% recovery for profit. And then that 17% never comes, and people get into stuck, and they're like, oh. I think the best defense is going to be offense. You got to set up your bots properly. You got to know why you're creating them. Don't just have a whole shitload of bots with a whole big balance that you don't know how to manage. And it can't be your entire balance. Sometimes I'll even add funds into the bot before I convert it to a smart trade because I don't want it to go to another, I don't want it to start another deal. But in the terms of converting to a smart trade, I usually only do that for futures bots because spot bots don't really worry me so much. They're on a spot account. It's not like I'm going to get liquidated anything right there. But on futures, I definitely want to maintain those. If I do have futures bots running, I definitely want to maintain them. And then when one of them starts to get a little bit slippery, depending upon what kind of market it is, if I have intended for 25% deviation and it hasn't been met yet, it's all good. I'm going to try and let it ride out. But, if I have a couple different trades going, because sometimes I'll trade where, there's a couple different bots and the cross margin overlaps each other. So if there's a couple different bots that are not performing properly, if you listen to the anti-liquidation methods that I hand out, keeping X amount of bots within a percentage of their ratio, which we can cover all that shit in detail at my presentation on the 26th. I'm not going to try and overload everyone with information right now. If you listen to the anti-liquidation rules that I will go over, you won't get liquidated on cross margin. Sometimes I try to be aggressive, step out of the line so I can try to make money quicker. Whenever that happens, I have bots going against each other, whether it be two long bots both going down, decreasing my margin, or a long and a short bot. Long is pumping and the short is just filling up safety orders, and it's not good. So, or one or the other. If it's a long bot, then the short bot. If it's a long pump, then the short bot is making a lot of deals, and the long bot's getting stuck. So one way or the other, if I have a bot that's getting stuck, I'll try to convert one of those futures bots into a smart trade and baby that shit so I don't experience liquidation. But it's not very often that I'm trying to convert them to smart trade, unless also another situation on spot where it does fall down, like we're looking at that huge fallout where it's like a 50% deviation, and you have a bot that was only planned for like 30%, so you're way past your deviation, right? We would say you only planned for that 30%, now you're 20% further than you initially planned to fall. So you can convert that to a smart trade, actually let your bot start going again from the bottom up, because now, it's got that really big fallout. If it got stuck in that far, it was probably a long bot, and now price has fallen that far, so it's probably going to have a lot of upside bounce, and now your bot can actually start to profit again while you work on that one smart trade deal. So I don't really often do it on spot. Like I said, I usually just try to plan for the bots to actually work, and cover a deviation or trigger for a certain reason. But if a bot does, if I can't remember the last time I converted a smart trade over, but that would probably be one of the reasons I do it on spot. I'd have way more reasons to do it on futures to try and avoid liquidation if I'm being an asshat and not following the anti-liquidation guidelines. Then yeah, I want to protect myself. But now outside of those regions, not really too much. And we can talk about that a lot more in the next session too on the 26th. Same time we started today. We're going to talk about 3COMMAS DCA bots. I'm going to walk you how to set up a bot, and we can talk about the anti-liquidation guidelines, and we can talk about all those variables where, we get into this and that. Because there's a lot of variables when it comes to algorithmic trading. Manual trading is one thing. Algorithmic trading isn't too difficult. Once you can grasp a couple of different concepts, it becomes pretty clear. But until you are able to grasp those concepts, it's just like a total fucking nightmare. So I'm gonna try to take you through it in the best way possible and give you the insight to take your own actions and set up your own actions, because a lot of people just they get into 3COMMAS and they're like, oh, the bots are so cool. They completely miss the smart trade terminal, the thing we talked about today. Completely miss it. Never even give it a once over. They're like, oh, I want to go to the bots. They check out the bot marketplace, and there's a bot that's doing good this month. It's like up 30% for the month or whatever. It's up 20%, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna copy this bot. Copy the bot. It does good for a while, and then it gets stuck in a red bag. And they're like, oh, how do I get out of here? So the time that they spend, just frolicking through this environment without really learning anything, because they think it's just going to be money handed to them like they just bought some money printer. That's not the case. The 3COMMAS is a wonderful tool, but you have to understand how to print the money. So you have to understand how to use the tools, how to use everything together. Now that you know how to use a smart trade, as Johnny has said, you can possibly convert a bot deal to a smart trade. And you wouldn't know what that meant or how to do that if you didn't watch this segment first, or at least some other YouTuber talk about it. So yeah, a lot of shit to learn, and I'll try and take you through it in a way that makes sense. Of course, if you need some one-to-one time, you can always book me for a one-to-one call. Should have my link below in the description. You can come hang out with us in the Discord server. That shit's for free. My server's free. If you're in the CU server, we do have a public chat, and we also have a students only chat. So if you're a CU student, you can come hang out with us. We do trading all the time together. Got next trading events for Crypto University. I don't know. My schedule. This thing is hectic. It looks like on the 24th we have our next group trading session. Yeah. On the 24th, we have our next group trading session in Discord. So, if you're a student, come out to that one, and we can chill, trade in mine anytime. Just pop in that motherfucker. And then we got TCal says, can't wait for the 26th. Johnny 8 message retracted. Johnny8 says, thanks for the explanation, mate. TCal says, I use Smart Trade a lot, actually, but I always get stuck with my bots. Well, brother, them bots, I'm telling you, you got to have, like, a purpose in mind for creating these bots. Now, I know that they have the marketplace. Like I said, if you've ever looked around over here, you can literally explore hundreds and hundreds of bots. You can check them out, man. Run them. If you have a pro account, it should come with paper trading. You can run some of these bots on paper trading, see how they perform, see what it would be like to catch them in a deviation, you know. Hopefully you get another 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years out of your life. You don't have to go all in into this bull cycle. And everyone puts that pressure on, like, oh man, you know, it's so early, don't miss out, buy now. Everyone just wants you to fucking ape in. No one has any clarity. Let's just chill out for a sec. Learn, take things slow, see what bots work for us. Don't go throwing in all your money in the hopes that you're gonna get rich overnight. Just do this shit like a strategic person would go about conquering an empire, you know? You got to have a plan. You got to execute based upon your plan. You got to have a backup plan. You got to know how to deal with the shit you're going to be dealing with. You don't just walk into enemy territory blind, start blasting. Probably going to get... That's not how you get dubs. It's not how you get dubs. Trust me, I know. That's not how you get dubs. So... you want to make sure you understand what you're doing, get a good grip on these bots, work with them on your paper trading account. When you find a good one, or when you understand a strategy that you actually want to automate, then you can go ahead and throw some real money at it and leave that thing to go. So we'll talk about a couple of those different aspects in the next one. Any more questions on this one, fellas? Let's see if I can catch my girlfriend on her lunch break. I think she's got about 30 minutes left on lunch. So I'm going to try and catch her on lunch. But if you guys got some questions, I won't run away just yet. We got about 90 minutes on the stream. 90-minute stream time, so yeah, that's good. Hour and 33 minutes. Solid work, boys. What kind of questions you got for me? I'll take a few more questions we got before I wrap up here. Drop my lid. TCal says, I only succeeded with one amazing bot that buys the dip, but the get are too aggressive? But the get are too aggressive and end up being stuck too. You said lol, so I'm just gonna laugh. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really understand that, man. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can get a better laugh. Wait, this is like a good fake laugh. Like, nah, never mind. I can't do a fake laugh. Here, I'll do a half fake, half real. Nah, that was too fake. Sorry. Maybe I'm not a good actor. Nah, but sorry, TCal. I can't really understand that last part, what you said there. And Boy Tamela says the 26th. It's gonna be great. Can't wait. Also, TCal, I'm ready. Yeah, my people, my people. Mark your calendars, the 26th. Same time we started today. And Israel says, so I started blasting. Yeah. If only you could put GIFs in here, that would be fantastic. Ananya says, so true. Stick to the plan of the Deadly Crypto Man. That's right. How'd you get my name to be orange like that? You look orange for anybody else? Is that just what happens when you say Deadly Crypto? TCal says, thanks, bro, and enjoy your lunch. Johnny says, it's the autocorrect. Sorry, TCal, brother. The autocorrect be getting me too sometimes, but I've taught it a bunch of words. You can teach your phone some words, but it do be getting me like that. So all right, let me come up in here to the center then. All right, fellas, shout out Diva Mac for giving me this awesome hairstyling today for my stream, and shout out to everybody who came out to the stream. You know, TCal supporter, G-Man day one supporter. He's got that blue tag. Not sure if he's here just silently watching or not, but my boy G-Man, he came out. He was here. He did his time. Thanks everybody who came and asked a question. My boy Jacob, who's back at Apple. Johnny8, who asked his questions. Everybody who I can't mention in this last second, who I may have forgotten, but y'all are my people. And, hey, thanks for coming out, dog. Let me dap y'all up. That's what I'm saying. Fucking let's get vitamin water on this shit. Red Bull 2, make every market a bull market. I really like that one. Thanks, fellas. I'll see y'all later.